welcome back to my channel. My name is Tabitha Gabrielle, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I've really been looking forward to. Today, I'm going to be giving you one sentence, or some of them have a couple sentences, okay? I couldn't help myself. I have seen Destiny Sidwell do this video before, and hers are always very entertaining, and usually like way longer than this one is probably going to be, because I read in 2024 a grand total of 39 books. Y'all clap, okay? That's a lot for me. I have a full-time job outside of YouTube, and I also have a plethora of hobbies, and I'm always adding to that list, unfortunately. So I don't have a lot of time that I dedicate to reading, but the time that I do spend reading, I really enjoy. Buckle up, get prepared, because this is one-sentence summaries. Just as a disclaimer, I will be putting up little graphics that I made for each of these 39 books, and it's just going to have the book cover and then my Goodreads review. If I did have a Goodreads review, there are a couple where I didn't write any kind of review, but if I do have one, I'm going to put it there next to the book. So we're going to have the cover, the review, and then off to the side there's going to be like little headphones indicating that I listened to it as an audiobook. There's going to be like a little phone indicating that I read it on Kindle, or there's going to be like a book which is indicating that I read it as a physical copy. Let's get started. The first book is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Scholte, and I think that's how you say her name. This takes place in a matriarchal society ruled by four queens where several murders happen, and as the reader you're following our main characters who are trying to figure out who is responsible. It's like a genre mashup of fantasy, sci-fi, and murder mystery. Arcane Season 1, it's got a very similar vibe, if you know what I mean. Character by McKee. This is a good book for people who are interested in the art of writing. It was good, but there were more rabbit trail topics than necessary in my opinion, so it was not exactly a favorite. Destroy the Day by Brigid Kemmerer. This is the finale in a series that I was enjoying, but at this point I don't remember much about the plot, just that I was left feeling a little bit disappointed at the end. Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. There are flying ships and sea monsters. The characters are also very interesting. I remember enjoying the plot, so I don't know why I didn't read the last book in this trilogy in 2024. If I remember the ending of Siege and Storm correctly, I was slightly icked out by the situation, so maybe that's why. The House of Eve by Sadeqa Johnson. Heartbreaking and heartwarming all at the same time, if that makes sense. You're following an adoptive mom and a birth mom who have very different states of living. Ariadne and the Legend of the Fire Rose by Kristi A. Cole. Mysterious Manor in the Woods, mythical monsters and cute little forest keepers called treelings, secret tunnels, magical rose gardens. Need I say more? Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Love this book with my entire heart and soul. Please read it. The banter is top tier. Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. Unplanned pregnancy after an uncharacteristic one-night stand. Everything ends up working out in the end. It's a bit too predictable and a bit too idealistic for my taste. Rebel Soul by Axie. This is kind of like if Pacific Rim was a K-drama and all the main characters were in high school. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So our main character is a human living in the fairy world, and she is determined to get what she wants no matter the consequences. Everyone in the story is morally gray, and the political drama is unmatched. Gray After Dark by Noelle W. Ihli. Or Ihli. I don't know how you say her name. I'm sorry. A woman goes for a run, decides to take off her clothes and go for a swim in a remote wilderness lake, witnesses a moose get massacred by scary hunter dudes, who then proceed to kidnap her and drag her back to their weird little homestead in the middle of nowhere, Idaho. The story follows her and her attempts to escape, and also follows her love interest as he tries to track her through the wilderness. High stakes all around. It was great. The Wicked King by Holly Black. Kidnappings. Deceit. Political drama increases. Also, our female main character's fairy guy love interest has a tail, so that's kind of gross. The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. A bit of a fever dream ending, but in the best way possible. It was a trip, and I was sad when it was over. How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. This is a look into Cardan's mind. Carden is the dude who has the tail, by the way. I loved this book, but I was also very sad after having finished the trilogy, so that could be why I loved it so much. Winter Garden by Kristin Hannah. In this, you follow two adult sisters as they learn more about their aging Russian mother's traumatic war-torn past that she has never before shared with them. It was very sweet. I cried at the end, but that's really nothing new for me. A Crane Among Wolves by June. A Crane Among Wolves by June Her. A tyrant king kidnaps women and tortures them just for funsies. Our female main character's older sister gets kidnapped by said king. Then our female main character proceeds to make it her mission to destroy said king. The king's younger half-brother ends up helping her, and they form a deep connection with each other throughout this quest. The end was a roller coaster, and that's all I'm going to say. Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. Okay, so this is like a Victorian fantasy with magical books that can eat you. And also, our main characters wield magic and fight monsters and summon demons. One of the main side characters is actually a demon. So, yeah. It was weird. Don't recommend. Assassin of Fire and Sacrifice by Mary Mecham. Female main character is an assassin to a neighboring kingdom sent to kill their prince. She does this by posing as a bride sent with the purpose of making peace. So she marries this guy with the intention of killing him, but then gets to know him and starts to question things. You know how that goes. Oh, and the prince can turn into a phoenix, so that's fun. Date with Danger by Janessa Fayeth. A rom-com murder mystery with a female main character who reminds me a bit of Elle Woods. I was laughing out loud in public because of this book. Morrigan by Mary E. Pearson. A history of the world of the Remnant Chronicles. Significant if you've read that trilogy and the Dance of Thieves, Vow of Thieves duology. The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery. Female main character is told by a doctor that she has less than a year to live, and she realizes how bland her life has been up until that point. She stops caring what people think and lives life to its fullest, meeting another character who's at a similar place in life. It has a very happy ending. Catch a Wave by Savannah Scott. This is a second chance romance, surfer couple style. It was bland, and the reason why they broke up in the first place was really stupid. I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. The entire cast of characters felt like actors you'd find at a Renaissance fair. It was overly dramatic and eccentric at times, but in a fun and unique sort of way. Our main character is a dragon exterminator sent to a castle to get rid of their problem, as if dragons were rats or raccoons or something. It was comedic, but I felt like the plot really derailed towards the end. Everything Sad is Untrue by Daniel Nayeri. The life experience of a child born in Iran whose family moves to rural Oklahoma. Very poetic and touching as the author wove his own life experiences into history and myths from the Middle East. You're left with the impression of a beautiful woven tapestry held together with words by the end of the book. Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. Very insightful and very relevant. That's all I'll say with this one. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Think Star Wars meets academic war school. It's like if the Air Force was training pilots to fight aliens. Our main character is an outcast due to decisions her father made. Also, our main character has a pet slug that she creatively named Doomslug. The First Girl Child by Amy Harmon and Rob Shapiro. This is the most effective display of feminine rage that I have ever seen demonstrated in a book. It's like a Viking fantasy where this warrior woman gets pregnant and is abandoned by her child's father, so she proceeds to curse the entire land and name her infant son as the only one capable of breaking that curse. I thought it was very interesting. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charles Mackesy. Yeah, there we go. A sweet illustration of friendship and the deeper meaning behind emotions that we all feel from time to time throughout our life. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. The sequel to Powerless. Look, just do yourself a favor and read it, okay? Again, the banter is unmatched and top-notch. I'm rooting for Kai and Peyton like I am rooting for no other fictional couple, okay? Powerful by Lauren Roberts. Heartbreaking. You should know what's going to happen before you start reading it, because you should not be reading it before you read Powerless. This is the novelist showing what Peyton's best friend is up to while Peyton is over here wreaking havoc on the kingdom of Ihli during the trials. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. Have your tissues ready. Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. Our main character has been accepted by her peers finally, and she has graduated from her Star Wars academic flight school. She proceeds to strike out on a mission to infiltrate the alien population as a spy. Fun. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. A king and queen snatch up an orphan boy named Kel who looks like their son, the prince, whose name is Connor. The two grow up together as almost brothers, except Kel has been trained to stand in for Connor when needed and take on any assassination attempts made toward him. The political system and the turmoil within the kingdom was riveting. There was a lot of questionable content, though, so do be aware of that before reading. The Spy Who Ghosted Me by Jennifer Peel. So, a girl falls in love with this guy who later disappears without saying a word. She is angry and sad. After some time passes, she sees him after flying home to visit her parents and prepare for her little sister's wedding. She's angry and has a lot of questions, understandably, which he refuses to answer. Not understandably. Turns out he's in this awkward situation because he is a spy and his current mission is to take down the female main character's little sister's fiancé, who is like a world-class criminal. It was great. The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. The best middle grade fantasy I have ever read. Me and my 15-year-old sister have been having the best time fangirling over this entire series. Captivating by John and Stacy Eldridge. So incredibly touching. A must-read. I felt seen. One Foggy Christmas by Courtney Kissel. A woman loses 3 years of memories during a ski accident and forgets about meeting her husband and getting married. It was a roller coaster in the best way possible, and it ends how you would want it to end. The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. Look, there is no one sentence or a couple of sentences that can describe how I feel about this book. It has already consumed so much space in my mind recently. Just watch the reading vlog, okay? I plan on making another video about it soon too, so just stay tuned for that. The Runaway King by Jennifer A. Nielsen. So, the main character, Prince, joins a gang of pirates who are employed by one of his enemies. Also, this prince is very resilient. Imagine getting your leg snapped, like your leg is broken, okay? And imagine having the audacity to then climb a cliff with a broken leg. Yeah. That's the main character of this series, okay? Respect. The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. War. Just flat out war. Everywhere you turn, there is war, okay? It's fantastic and gripping, and you want the main character to win so bad. Also, remember the main character, he's the one who climbed the cliffside with the broken leg, yeah? In this one, he jumps off a cliff. Yeah. Anyway, I could read endless books with this cast of characters because they're so entertaining and I love them dearly. And that is the conclusion. That is all of the books that I have to talk about in this video. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, and comment below what you're reading right now. I think that would be fun. I can't wait to see what 2025 has in store for all of us and all of the amazing books that we're going to find this year and discover and share with each other. So much love, peace and blessings, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.